Hi, my name is Lina. I would like to discuss with you regarding to assignment task 3, EDSI 168. I would like to acknowledge the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation for taking care of the tree, the animals, the water, the land that I study and work today. I would like to pay my respects to elder past, present, and future. A small group of children aged 4 to 5 years old was engaged with the snipping paper using the scissors at the art corner. After they finished cutting their papers, they brought the papers into the general bin waste instead of putting it into the recycling bin. Based on this observation, I have implemented the recycling experience and discussed with the children how to put the correct recycling item in the correct recycling bin. Based on the observation, I implemented the recycling experience for the children to explore. I introduced different bins and buckets that used in the classroom to help the children to understand which material that can put into the correct buckets and bins. Each color's bins and bucket has a different meanings and is used to put the different material into the correct bin. During the intentional teaching, I discussed with the children with the two rubbish bin in our classroom. The white bin is used for general waste and the red bin is used for recycling materials such as tissues, box, papers, cardboard, toilet roll, and small or big boxes. There are different colors bucket in the classroom. The green bucket is used for food waste, leftover lunch and afternoon tea. The blue bucket is used for leftover water from the children after their mealtime. The leftover water from the children mealtime used for watering the plant in the garden. The red bucket is used for face washer cloth. The light green bucket is used for compost. The children put the leftover fruit from their morning and afternoon teas or any leftover fruit or organic waste from the kitchen to feed the worm farm. I invite the children to bring the compost bin outside to feed the worm farm. The children feel so excited and took the compost bin out with a tongue with them. The children were able to open the worm farm lids out of from the bucket and pick the fruit and vegetable waste from the compost bin and place it into the worm farm bucket. They took turns. They feel confident in transferring the fruit and vegetable from the compost bin into the worm farm bucket. I read the reuse, recycle, resync books to the children. A lot of things that came from the package that we use every day. Packagings can be made from papers, plastic, metal, or glass. Papers came from trees. Tree is very important to Earth. They provide home for creatures and helps them and help makes the air we breathe. Material we use to make plastic and metal came from mining. These take a lot of energy and this is not good for our earth. There are different type of waste. Most of what goes into rubbish bin can be compost or recycle. First, we reuse what we buy, reuse what we think, what we can't, reuse what is left. We can rethink rubbish. If we throw away rubbish, it just goes to the landfill. Can we think of other things we can do instead? Reuse instead of making more rubbish, we can just use less. Use drink bottle that we can refill. Bring reusable shopping bags to the shop rather than using the plastic bag. Use reusable containers lunchbox rather than use the plastic containers and throw it away. I read an educational book called Finding About Composting to the children. I explained to the children that rubbish like fruit and vegetable scrap, grass and leaves are called organic waste. When organic waste break down into the landfill, it releases harmful gas like methane. This is very bad for the planet and more than half of what we throw away is organic waste. Bruce 2016 suggests that instead of throwing the food and garden scrap away, we can turn them into the high quality soil called compost. This process is known as composting. The composting is a natural way of recycling. By doing the composting, we don't need a lot of outdoor space or expensive equipment to start composting at home or even at school. The composting teach us about the environment, nature, and life cycle. I discuss with the children how to make their own compost bin. We can take the organic waste out of the compost bin each day. Here are some of the items that we could collect and put in the compost bin, such as pizza box, eggshell, banana skin, toilet roll, and paper's napkin. As the organic waste start to break down, it's turned into the high quality compost that is full of nutrition from the food scrap. During this interaction, I scaffolding the children by asking the open-ended questions such as what do you know about the composting mean? What do you think what do you think was happened to this picture? What do you learn from this book? Would you like to try composting? Why? Do you think the composting is important? Why? Victoria Early Year Learnings and Development Framework Outcome 2 children are connected with the contributes to their world. The children's identity, their family and culture histories shapes their learning and development. Educator promotes and supports to all the children to develop a sense of place, identity, and connections to the land and the nature worlds and ensure that all the children have equitable access to resources and opportunity to demonstrate their learning. The Early Year Learning Framework for Australia has played a crucial role in sustainability concept in environmental, social, and economic dimensions. These include a focus on fair and equitable access to resources, conserving resources, and reduce consumption and waste. Educators recognize children's interest in their world, their ability to engage with the concept of the sustainability, and their capacity to advocate and act for the positive change. Additionally, the children understand of their citizen rights and responsibility as members of local and global community is built through meaningful and relevant educational experience. Education for sustainability play a significant role in early childhood center by integrating environmental awareness into the early childhood education program with a strong focus on recycling. In Victoria, Fresh Green Clean has supported early childhood services in implementing safe and sustainable cleaning practices. This has been achieved through in-service training and the development of the safe and sustainable inside cleaning project. I role modeling the children's which materials that we can put in the correct bin and buckets through daily routines and share information with the children's family. I show the children which the real materials which resources can be put in the bins and bucket. The recycling experience has helped children develop an understanding of the nature and property of different materials as well as a sense of respect and responsibility for the well-being of the environment. An environment education program designed for early childhood settings should encourage holistic approach to promoting sustainability. Through this interaction, I scaffolding the children's learning by asking open-ended questions such as what do you think about the white bin is used for? What do you think the red bin is used for? What are the blue, green, and red buckets used for? What is this bucket used for? Compost bin. What material can be used in each bin and bucket? What is compost? Why it is important for us to compost organic fruit and vegetable? How do we compost? By practicing every day, the children has understood the concept of recycling material. These are my references. Thank you for listening. Have a good day. Bye.